What's up, everyone? I am your host, Honeybee, and we are sitting here at the wonderful and most famous Sugar Moms in Old City. If you don't know about it, ask someone. I'm here with some of my cool friends, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you.
Hi, I'm Brian Turner, writer and founder of the blog The Cufflink.
My name is Jared King, co-founder of thecufflink.com as well.
Hi, I'm Rose Luardo, and I'm a woman about town.
Hey, I'm Roman Anthony Barksdale, and I'm a freelance stylist with the Philadelphia Eagle.
So, okay, so now we're on fashion. So basically, like, what do you look for in an individual in terms of fashion? Someone you're attracted to, what type of fashion do you want them to have?
Just be clean.
Clean?
Clean.
Be clean and sharp, and I mean, you know, male, female, just have it together.
I'm gonna go out. I think you were right. But have you noticed that there is I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's like an art hippie. I haven't taken a shower since about 3.5 years
You're gonna get
ago.
letters.
Everything's kind of crazy, 90s rave throwback. Like, okay.
Is there a smell?
There is sometimes a smell. Is there a smell? Sometimes there is a smell. But it's like a dedicated art look. It's like a thing.
It's like you gotta go with the theme. I'm an artist, so I have to look.
I'm a struggling artist.
A struggling artist.
But it's not even struggling. It's like, guess what? My art was so important that I didn't take a shower for like the past.
And so what? You know? Yeah.
And you know, some people are also just not into that. That's like too Fifth Avenue for them, and they're just like, guess what? It's like, I've got the Tom's toothpaste and like the crystal that doesn't really work, and that's what it is.
I don't care. You can go to like I won't say another big box store, but there's another big box retailer whose name we won't mention that has a bullseye and red khaki. But you can get some nice pieces from there. So there's no excuse for I don't believe that. I don't like that.
There was a whole line that they had. Weren't they doing designer lines for a while?
They still do it.
I haven't seen them pass through our South Philadelphia box.
Oh.
But I do remember that they had.
Check out thecufflink.com. There's an article on the last one they did.
Wow.
Ow, that's a plug-in.
My PSA is, if you don't know how to be really fashionable, keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you can't go wrong with just something that's very clean. I mean, I've always said that, like, when we do too much, we do too much. So just like, if you don't know how to put together a plaid tie with a print,
people don't know how to mix prints that well.
I've always,
it becomes easier for others.
it's an aesthetic, actually. It really is.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, some people get it, some people don't. But like, everybody can look clean and presentable every day of their life. But I find like it's an excuse when people tell me otherwise.
Brings us to the next question.
All right.
What has been your fashion like yays and nays for like the past year? Like, what are you saying all the time? You're like, I love that style, and you're like, oh no, retire that.
I can't. This is what I can't take, and it's been around since probably the 90s. First, it was baggy jeans hanging off the booty. Now it's jeans that are tight or too tight, hanging off the booty.
Oh my! Oh yeah, I don't like those.
Hey, you're talking about some of our friends.
Hey, now we gotta keep it real, right? This is the Buzz Club. It's provocative.
Like, look how nice your butt looks.
Yeah,
when you have your pants pulled up.
You know how to wear your clothes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you know what it ends up looking like to me? This look with the tight jean. It looks like you just strategically took your ass out of the.
And then it's the best when they put the white underwear on.
Oh yeah, that's so
horrifying.
Yeah.
The only person that does that, I guess because it's his look, is Lil Wayne. Like I feel like when he does it, it's a look, but everybody's not Lil Wayne, and everybody, And I think that we always lose touch with that.
I guess my thing though is, especially with fashion, is I wish people would just be true to who they are and dress who they are and not try to imitate somebody else. If you happen to be a similar personality like Lil Wayne, fine, and do you. Yeah. But just go shopping and whatever draws your eye. If you're a dude and you like something pink, then wear that pink. Like, just be you.
Thank you. I did wear that pink.
Yeah. So any females, nays that y'all saw this year? Like, I know for me, like tights.
Tights is pants?
Let's talk about tights. Let's talk about tights.
I have a good story. I have a good one for you. King of Prussia Mall. We were going to one of the stores in there, and there was a woman walking with her kids, and she was probably like, yeah, why? She had on these. I don't know if they look more like stockings.
That's what I'm saying. That's another issue.
My God.
Are they tights that are appropriate to wear outside, or are they like tights for like inside the house or stockings? Because if they're too sheer and I can see your underwear.
No, it was no underwear.
No, you know, and also know your body type. Like some women petite. I mean, just know, you know when you're wrong for wearing tights outside the house. Like if you have everything out there, you know. Like
they used to have these Maury episodes where they would be women.
You are not the fashion person.
Excuse me, I would have been,
But you know, I was so happy when that 450-pound woman showed up wearing like a green, just like green tassels and a piece of dental floss. I was like, she is so happy looking like this. I was like, walk right out of here to the Mall of America and like eat some French fries.
But again, know your body.
French fries.
Nothing against big girls. Big girls got dressed too. Some of my best friends are big girls. Everybody always says that when they're talking about something.
No, there's nothing wrong with big girls. I know a lot of big girls that can dress.
Yeah.
Just to let you know. There's some big girls out here that will put you little ones.
They will. We don't play that. We love big
girls. Just like a skinny person, you gotta know what works for you and what does not work for you.
You gotta know.
That's the big
thing. What if you actually believe that works for you? What if, like, when you have this dysmorphia where you look in the mirror and you're like, this looks good. This tiny little, American Apparel thong that I'm wearing.
Oh, please. And don't talk about American Apparel. These little, those tight American Apparel spandex dresses that everyone and their mom thinks they can wear. No. Okay? I don't want to see your butt hanging out the dresses.
I say yes. I think there has to be, you know what? There is an entertainment value for me in that.
Okay, that's
wearing
true.
a crazy outfit. I want to see somebody walk around in a crazy outfit.
I want to be like, this is crazy.
I just think that it's enough fashion out there for everybody. Everybody should look good. I mean, we live in a time where you can look in a magazine, like you can go down the street, like look good, people. Like we don't play that. Like be good. Like be good. Because if you look good, it says something to women, though.
But what about in the 70s? Men, I think that's
men got dressed up.
One of the points
women did too, though. They were very high
in time that I remember of like men looking like something would be the 70s. I mean, the 80s you had like Don Johnson and that whole kind of Miami Vice look. Yeah. But in the 70s, men had a very particular look.
Yes.
Very sexy.
Yes, very finesse.
Almost male-oriented, a little like Playboyish and stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's what I love.
So what's happened since that time? And men had that flair.
I mean, it's so.
What's happened since then, as far as the store, like what the vintage stores and stuff?
Or just what happened?
I guess they just love it so much they don't even want to give it up. They have their own vintage stuff.
And that must be true because men buy one quality item.
We do.
Women buy 15 crappy, disposable pieces of fashion, and men buy a nice
one great piece.
I know.
See, I think that's my transition now with fashion is that I will go to like an H&M and buy. I'll buy the store because I have it like that.
Oh yeah.
Buying at the ball.
Yeah, but a smart, fashion conscious person should really be focusing on pieces that are going to last a long time.
Yeah.
Because those are things that are going to last. Your H&M shirt or something is going to be good for maybe a year, and then
what do you mean by pieces that last a long time? Like shoes, maybe? Because I know I can tell a lot about a man by his shoes.
Okay, well wait a minute.
I'm a shoe girl.
I want to say this. This look is good today. It was good 3 years ago. I think this will be very nice 5 years from today. So like this is kind of what I mean by like this is a nice look that is your style. It's your signature style, and it's not disposable. Whereas sometimes I see myself, I'm like, I look like every 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Because I bought too much stuff, trendy,
I look like a mix
stuff.
between a 70s pimp and a sneaker freak. So I'm with it. Do it everything and do it with ice cream on it.
Okay, before we go, I do want to talk a little bit about politics. The elections are coming up. Is voting important to any of you?
Yes.
Definitely.
You guys vote? No, because I know everyone has different opinions about voting.
I have friends who have different opinions.
Yeah, I tend to have like mixed feelings about voting at times.
But I definitely believe that if we have a freedom of speech, that we should definitely exercise it. Because I mean, this is our country, and no matter what you feel, I feel like no matter how many times people think that it doesn't count, but it does.
Because of the electoral college.
Yes, because everything trickles down, and even like in your backyard, it's a reason why things happen.
I think voting is like a form of advocacy. Letting people know what you want and what you need.
Our current president,
Barack Obama,
things are actually moving and shaking, and I know that it may not be moving as quickly for everybody, but things take time.
He got on a sinking ship,
and I feel like with the sinking ship, he's definitely made it to land.
Yeah,
right.
And he blew up 1,001 floaties.
Next thing, yes, like I feel like this is the best time for him because I feel like the healthcare thing happened, his equality, his whole like views on like life and like where he wants us to go, and like I feel like his heart is in this because I feel like he's touching on topics that no other president was actually.
He's a smart man.
Yes. He's smart. I mean,
he's impressive.
And I like authors. I like reading books.
But the other thing about Obama too is that in this first term, again with the system that we're in, he's kind of limited. He does have to play politics.
Yep, he does.
There's no way you can be a politician and not play that game. So there might be certain things that he might want to get done that all of us want him to do, but he has this whole other group of people behind him. But I guarantee you, when Barack Obama is elected to his second term, you're going to see some stuff happen that is going to probably blow your mind.
I can
and it's going to be for the best of this country.
So basically, does Barack have your vote?
He has my vote.
How about you?
That's my vote.
Duh.
You?
You know what? I don't like talking about politics because I got a lot of people out there that
please.
don't. Okay, y'all know. You know I like Michelle, and y'all know I like Barack, and y'all know who I want in the White House.
I love that. I love her style.
Do you know I was afraid of Michelle? I think Michelle's scary.
I love me.
Now I like Michelle. Now I like Michelle.
Break this down. Why?
Because she looks like such a strict mom. I was like, oh my God.
But
like,
that's just the
don't America,
Don't America, black woman service.
Don't America need strict moms?
Yes.
Yeah. My
that's a whole nother topic and a whole nother day.
Michelle looks so scary.
She's firm. She's firm. She makes it work.
She is firm.
Yes. But thank you guys so much for joining us today on the Buzz Club. We really enjoyed your conversation. You guys have any parting words before we go?
Check out our blog, thecufflink.com.
Do you have any? What do you want to say?
Oh, same thing. Check out thecufflink.com. Yeah, we have some nice articles on there. We're gonna build it up, and it's gonna be something.
And it's like a men's fashion ball, right?
Men's fashion, yes.
Yeah. If girls want to find something for your boyfriend, go on there, check it out. Guys, get fashion tips. So it's a great place to check it out.
Okay, I want to recommend. What is this? The Big Shirley?
The Big Shirley.
This is a Big Shirley. These gentlemen introduced me to. What is this again?
Yeah, what is it?
Shirley Temple and vodka.
Vanilla vodka and
strawberry something.
Strawberry.
You?
I like it. I'm a summer drink.
Roman.
I just want to thank you, Vintu, for having me on the show. I love the Buzz Club, everything about it. I need to be here. You need to be here. I want to thank everybody who has supported me in being a stylist, and Elizabeth Wellington from the Philadelphia Inquirer, all my Facebook friends, family, friends, everybody. I love you all. Go ahead.
Thank you. You've officially been buzzed.
Mon nom est Lolo, j'habite en France et nous sommes à présent sur BUZZKLUB.
Thank you.
Basically,
Last time on the Buzz Club,
and I went to the doctor and I was like, hey, check me for everything because I clearly have something wrong.
Right.
And so they checked me for everything, and the only test that came back positive was for HIV/AIDS. Deep down inside of me, I became like self-destructive and
meaning,
like just like more sexually promiscuous, not using condoms anymore, like never failing to tell somebody that I was positive, but sleeping with other positive people, and like,
because it's like whatever,
yeah, it's like whatever. And even though like that's not the case, because they can reinfect me and make me sicker. And,
we now continue with part 2 of Vini's story. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
I actually tried to kill myself a month ago. Because I decided to take a bottle of sleeping pills and drink 1.5 liters of wine and inform my mother that I was just going to kill myself because I couldn't deal with it anymore. At which point I walked myself to a doctor, to the emergency room, and was committed into a hospital for a little bit under a week. And that's what has inspired my move to Warminster. Actually, I live with family now, so that...
So it kind of like a renewal, like you don't want to be surrounded by the same thing.
Yeah, I had to change everything in order to like kind of get myself right. And also I needed to be in a place where I'm like nurtured and loved. And like throughout my life, I think that I've dealt with depression and like knocked it out and I'm good. And then like something else will happen and everything that ever depressed me comes back. So like HIV/AIDS is just one of the things that keep me kind of depressed and like self-destructive and suicidal, but it's not like the only thing. And I can't say that that's how it is for everyone, but for me, it's like sometimes I forget that that's why I'm upset, but really deep down it's that and like so many other things that have like happened in my life that you'll just have to wait for my book to read about.
I mean, I really just appreciate just how open you are right now about everything.
I don't mind being open.
Because
it's part of the gift.
It is. It really is part of the gift because so many people have this misconception about people with HIV and people with AIDS, and they call it, you know, the gay man's disease. And of course, you know, you're a homosexual, so it's kind of like.
But it's not.
But it's not.
Yeah.
There are people that are going to watch this interview. They're going to say, of course he's gay. Of course he has it. But it's not about.
Although
that.
it's on the rise in gay men in Philadelphia in particular. There's more new cases in gay men in Philadelphia, I think, than the world.
Who was the first person you told when you found out?
One of my closest friends, Mark Dahl. He's like, I call him my brother. We're just really close.
Yeah.
And so he was like the first person I told. But I knew my doctor. Like I was friendly with my doctor, so he was the first one to know.
Yeah.
And then I told my mom like a week later.
How did she take it?
Oh, she flipped out. She made it about her.
Of course.
And
as a lot of parents do.
yeah, and it was all about her and very little about me.
How could you do this to me?
Well, it wasn't even that. Yeah, she was like, I always knew this would happen.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna
From
lose
your
my
lifestyle,
son and like this and that and all this shit. And like she was just very self-involved about it, and that's who my mother is, so I accept it.
And she had to work through it also the same way you had to work through it.
I guess, but not really. Not really. She's not living with the disease. I mean,
She's
like,
not, but the thought
I
of
guess
her,
in a
her
way
son
she has
being
to deal
gone.
with it.
Do your AIDS medication cost a lot, or is it free?
So AIDS medication, my Atripla cost $1,000 for 1 month of medicine.
How
That's
can you afford
30
that?
pills cost $1,000. I can't.
30
And
pills a month
yeah,
cost $1,000.
Yeah.
How can the average person who does not make
not even the average person. How can the above average person afford that? Like it's ridiculous.
$1,000 a month? So who covers it? Like how do you?
So there are like I'm on Medicaid.
Okay.
So I don't pay anything for any of my medicine or like doctor's visits or anything. Like I basically have like $1 copay that nobody's ever asked me for in 4.5 years. But there are also things like the Ryan White Foundation that, do you know who Ryan White was?
No.
Okay, so Ryan White, there were like a few really big names in HIV AIDS, and I hope one day I'm one of them.
Ryan, Elizabeth Taylor, was she definitely?
Yeah, Elizabeth Taylor did a lot for it. She's got like an AIDS foundation going or something, maybe.
Is in DC.
I'm not sure,
she
but
has a clinic, an AIDS clinic also.
does she? I'll take your word on that. I don't actually know it, but Ryan White, in particular, was this little kid, little guy, and he got HIV from a blood transfusion, I believe, in possibly another country, but it might have happened in America. He was American though and lived in America. So like basically the world watched him grow up from like the 80s to the 90s. I think he was like 17 or 18, maybe 19 when he died of AIDS complications. But like this kid did so much for like funding of HIV AIDS, and like he was one of the first people who wasn't a gay and got it and didn't get it from any like kind of malicious activity. And
like
then there
drug
was
use or sex.
Yeah, there was some Republican woman who got it too. I forget her name, but she's Republican, so who cares? And she got it and like did a lot for like, she was the first white woman Republican who like came out. I think that she was a political Republican, but she might have just been Republican and had a regular life. I don't know. But like her and Ryan White in particular, kind of like changed the view on AIDS, and then now there's all these things in place. So like if I go to a doctor and I can't afford it and I don't have health care and it's for my AIDS, I will still be seen and treated no matter what, and the Ryan White Foundation will pay for it. And like you just fill out like a paperwork. I have this card in my wallet.
Please show it. And that's good to know, because there are people right now watching this that definitely have the virus and are wondering how can I get my meds paid for?
Well, there's always medical case management. Specifically in Philadelphia, the Mazzoni Center is a great place to go for medical case management. And then there's Philadelphia Fight, and there's also Action AIDS. And all of these places offer medical case management. And the first thing I'd say is if you test positive, go get medical case management, because there are tons of ways to get things for free. So this is the Ryan White Service Eligibility Card. And what they do is every 6 months, they like re-verify just the fact that I have it. And then like people need like verification that I'm positive, and I just pull out this card. And then like there are services available to me and anyone with HIV/AIDS. Like if I don't have my medicine and I need it, because what happens is like if I don't take my medicine, I could potentially mutate and then that medicine won't work anymore. Not physically, but like the virus itself will learn how to fight it off because it won't be present, and then it'll develop this stronger strand of itself. And like the HIV virus can mutate from like getting reinfected by having unprotected sex with other people with HIV/AIDS and all kinds of things.
I do want to know though.
What do you want to know?
Since you've caught the virus, I mean, you're what, 31?
31.
You know, so you're still hot, you know.
I am still hot.
And you still have desires, you still have urges. So how has having the virus affected you?
Well, I mean, like I'm more self-destructive, but at the same time, like.
Well, your dating life, pretty much, though.
Oh, my dating life?
Really
I don't have one of those. I didn't have one of those beforehand either, though. I'm kind of promiscuous.
Okay.
So. Which I don't know if that's because I'm gay or just because it's who I am, but my life is I'm promiscuous. So it didn't really change. I might have become more promiscuous.
Well, how did you meet guys? Like, how do you tell them?
Oh man, there's so many things to meet gays on. Like, not only in Philadelphia do we have the gayborhood,
honey,
but we have Grindr, we have Scruff. We have Jacked, we have Boy Ahoy, we have Growler. There's all these apps on my phone. And then there's like Manhunt and Adam for Adam. And there's even one that's called Bareback Real Time. And that's about having sex without condoms. And
wow.
So for the longest time,
that's
all the
alarming.
people that were on there, yeah, it's a little alarming.
That's scary.
Yeah, isn't it? For the longest time, all those people were like mostly HIV positive. But recently, I've noticed a lot of like negative kids on there. And I'm like, why would you be on there if you were negative? Unless you're like looking for it. But that's a phenomenon that happens too. There's a thing called bug chasers. And like people who are actually out to try to get the HIV virus and catch it.
You have got to be kidding me. Bug chasers?
It's sick and disturbing.
So there are people out here that want to get this virus because what? Is there some type of
they're just self-destructive.
Thrill about it?
It's just part of the self-destruction.
But at the end of the day, you also have homosexuals who are actively living as homosexuals who have relationships, who have jobs.
You have that.
Like they are living normal human beings.
That's not my particular life, but that definitely happens.
Would you like a life like that though?
I think maybe when I'm like
stable, kind of.
Yeah, I'm not a stable person. Like I can openly say that now in my life that I'm not stable, and I may possibly be in the most stable position of my life at this moment. Moving into the suburbs and getting away from a lot of but I'm not stable, and so I certainly couldn't have a stable anything. Like I can't even imagine.
Because you are what you attract, in a sense.
You are what you attract.
So when you start to become stable, then stable will find you. But when you're chaotic, then everything around you is chaos.
Yeah.
Your relationships are chaotic.
I'm not stuck on the things that have happened. I'm stuck on the things I intend to happen. So like where I want to go is so different from where I've been. And while my past is in my present and my future, my present is in everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like my present is also in my past and in my future.
It's like an imprint. It's like imprinted everywhere.
Yeah, like when I look at my past now, I look at it through my present state of mind, and like I have this open kind of acceptance to it because I'm like, well, that's what made me this person, and like that was hard, but this is not as hard, and thank like, you know, God or the universe or whatever it is that's out there for giving me that gift of persistence and resistance, you know, because at the end of the day, like that's what gets me through. And I'm a dynamic being because of that, and so many people can't really state that claim.
No.
So
and at least you can look at yourself every morning knowing that you're real and you're honest with yourself.
I am real. We're all real. Kind of.
Kind of. Some of us are a bit plastic.
Yeah.
Any last words for this current generation out here? Practicing unprotected sex.
Can have safe sex.
Have safe sex.
And know your status. It's really important to know your status. So like even if you're scared, go get tested, because chances are you might be negative, and if you think that you're positive, you should know so that you can live a longer, healthier life and begin healing yourself. And then also, I guess, don't let, like, I made the mistake of letting the fact that I was positive be what changed my life, when really I probably should have changed my life prior to that and been more aware of the things that I was doing that put me in this position now. So, like, if you see a need for change in your life, be a dynamic motherfucker and do it.
Be a dynamic motherfucker and do it. And with that, we're going to end this interview. And I mean, you guys know, this is no laughing matter. Of course, we had a few laughs during this interview, and you know, we shared some pretty deep things. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your life. You owe it to yourself to live a fantastic life and to be healthy and to explore the world without any restrictions, you know. HIV, AIDS, people are dying every second, every minute, you know. Be safe. Don't use drugs. If you're using drugs, please use clean needles, you know, because that's the reality, you know. If you're fighting something, go seek help. If you're having sex, wear the condom. It's not worth it. It's really not. See you next time.
And now, it's time for everyone's favorite girl to speak. Honeybee, because the girl is so sweet.
And we're back to Honey Says. I am your host, Honeybee, and this is my favorite segment because I get to help everyone else out with their crazy relationship questions and all things fun. So let's look into the briefcase and see what we have today. You love it? It's my wicker case. Dear Honey, I like this guy at my job, but he doesn't seem to have a clue about me. He's always very helpful whenever I ask a question or seem lost, but that's about it. He usually keeps to himself, and I haven't seen him with anyone, nor has he ever brought a date to any company outings, so my guess is he's probably single. Hopefully. How do I let him know I'm interested without seeming too aggressive? Sincerely, call me maybe. Hey, I just met you. This is crazy. Okay, everyone's been singing that song, Carly Rae Jepsen. Love it, call me maybe. Because you know how that feels when you first meet somebody that you like, and it's like that bubbly feeling, and you're like, oh, I hope you notice me. And in your case, it's kind of difficult because you work with this person. Office romances are so much fun because they're spicy. You know, you get to come to work, and you have someone there, and you get to flirt with them a little bit here and there. But in your case, you're not really doing much of anything. I think a good way to seem less aggressive will possibly be to ask him one day if you have the same lunch break. Would he like to go out for coffee or somewhere that you like to go? And if that's maybe too forward for you, do what I do. If I like someone, I'll just basically, you know, ask them like, hey, are you dating anybody? Or invite them to a party or a weekend outing if you don't want to go during your lunch break. Slip him a note when he's having his coffee break, maybe. Like when he goes for his donut, it's a little note next to it. And the note could say something like, I think you're hot stuff, man. No, really. I don't know. Like, everybody has different ways to go about it. Go about the way that feels most comfortable to you. One time when I liked the guy in college, I wrote him a poem. Because I like to write poetry. So I wrote a poem about like seeing him passing by all the time and just thinking like, man, I can't wait to have some time with him. And I actually emailed it to him. And that was the most embarrassing thing, but he liked it. And when he saw me, he was really impressed because he really admired first of all, my courage. And he also loved poetry. So you never know, like get really creative about the things about really coming on to someone else. Like there's so many different ways. Never feel like something is too bold, too crazy, because we're in the 2012, right? So nobody's doing the conventional. Everyone's going outside the box. You want to be remembered forever. So I don't know. Send him a singing telegraph saying, hey, let's go out on a date. Something really crazy. And also, don't be afraid of rejection because he might be seeing someone or he might not be interested. So put yourself out there, and if he says no, don't be down about it. Just know that you're feeling great because you took the chance and you're about it. See ya. Write me back, teamhoneybee@gmail.com. Check you out later. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time.